We started, God, I think it was back in 2001, started racing Enduros. They had 2 Enduros here at the old configuration at the track during the fair time, and started doing that. And then they kind of moved it up to Jackson and had some stuff up there. So we were racing Enduros for quite a few years. They kind of had like a touring series, kind of like they have now. Then that kind of died out, so we started racing bombers and stuff down in Alta. Ran that for a year, then they dumped the class. Kind of got bad luck, I guess, that way. But decided that did a little more work on the car and made a hobby stock and raced hobbies for about 4 years and been in a stock car since 2012 now. I mean, you push the gas and you go, you hit the brakes, you stop. I mean, it is the most competitive class there is. I mean, we get to race week in, week out with best drivers in the country, you know, anywhere around here. I mean, if you can win in the top, you need to run the top 4 in a stock car, you're running pretty good. So to be able to compete with those guys, it's a lot of fun, especially with, you know, I build my own cars and stuff, so even to be able to run up front with my own stuff is fun. It's a little bit of everything. I mean, I have more friends in the racing community that, you know, that I talk to week in and week out than I have even, you know, friends of mine that I was in high school with. You know, I mean, racers will give each other their shirt off their back. They might be super competitive on the track, but, you know, doesn't make any difference what class you're in or where you're at. Everybody helps out, and my kids, I've got a little boy who's going to be 5th grader, and he helped me put this car together for the most part, and he likes it. And my older kids, they got other stuff to think about, but I mean, they still do, and they ask to come to races once, you know, here and there, and like I said, you got a lot of friends, and it's cool to see kids come down from the stands after the race and stuff, and they want to talk to you, and they want your autograph. You know, it kind of makes a guy feel kind of, you know, special, so to speak. So that was actually my high school number. I was 33 in football, basketball. We threw the M on there just because of the fact that there's so many 33s around. So yeah, that's where that came from. Mainly we've been racing here this year. Mother Nature hasn't been too kind to us, and I've been pretty busy with work and stuff. I'm kind of a one-man crew now, so been pretty busy. I try to hit Rock Rapids, run some USRA racing over there when I can. Run here, I don't know. I haven't been back to Alta since 2014 when we wrecked, but kind of toying with maybe if we can't get some more races in, we might run Alta a couple times this year, and I think we'll probably hit Super Nationals again. I got a lot of guys out of state that have been kind of begging to watch us race, and might have a couple cars sold if the car can perform well at Boone. So I sold back in 2012 when we decided to go to stock car. I met a guy from Colorado that was interested in my car, and he drove 12 hours one way to pick the car up and stuff, and we were talking about, he just couldn't believe how many racetracks around here, you know, with even an hour of where we live on, you know, I mean, you can go to Worthington, Park Jefferson, you can go to, you know, Algona, Britt. I mean, there's just Alta, a ton of tracks, and it's 3.5 hours one way for him to get to the racetrack so he can race. So I mean, that's that's basically like us driving to Boone once a week to race. So we're pretty fortunate to have the tracks that we have here. I actually don't mind the configuration. I seem to run pretty well. I like a driver's track more than a horsepower track, just because of the fact that you don't have to have $1 million stuck in your motor to be able to compete. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy outbraking people in the corner, and you know, it's just, it puts it more in the driver's hands. I like a slick track. I think they're a lot of fun. Frustrating at times, but you know, track this year here has been great. It's been smooth. It's been dirty a couple nights, but clay's tough. You know, I commend, you know, and everybody's volunteers here that do this. So, you know, I commend hugely all the guys that are working on this track and try to get it in for us. And you know, because without volunteers, unfortunately, we wouldn't have a place to race at all. So, and it's a great facility. We have great grandstands, great lighting. The pits are nice too. So, I mean, yeah, I enjoy coming here. First part of the year, last year, we had a real good year. Built a brand new car from scratch, and it was good, real good. 5th night out, we rolled it. wrecked it, brought the backup car out, ran. I brought this car out in, I think it was July last year, and struggled with it. Jim Steffens takes pictures of us on the racetrack and stuff. And I went up to Jim last week, and wow, the last time we raced here, I guess it wasn't even last week, it's been a while ago, but I said to Jim, I said, if I run well tonight, I guess I have you to thank, because I studied pictures for probably about 3 days trying to figure out what was different from this car. I mean, the cars are identical, but something was different, and I went through it and found a couple things. We were pretty fast last week, so hopefully that continues. I guess I'd like to be up in the top 4 consistently. I mean, I realize there's nights we're not going to be, but I think we can be. I think we're fast enough to be in the top 4 consistently. I'd like to get it. In all the years I've raced, I've won a lot of heat races, a lot of B features. We've won a couple enduros, and never won a feature in one of these. So obviously we'd like to win a feature, but and I like to run well at Boone. I'd like to, I don't want to build a ton of race cars a year, because I do have a full-time job and a family to be with, but I enjoy building race cars and working on them just as much as I enjoy racing them, and I've got a lot of people that come and ask what they can do to change their car, so on and so forth. So I'd kind of like to get the Reaper chassis out there a little bit more on the map, and if we got 10, 15 cars out there, that'd be awesome, and if we got 2 or 3, that's good too. So